Call of Duty. Y'all know about Call of Duty? How about this? Let's do a fun little experiment here. Have you ever played a Call of Duty game? Throw a 1 into the chat. I would love to know. Have y'all played a Call of Duty game? Pretty big cultural impact, right? Made by this franchise. Let's see here. Holy, look at all these ones. Yeah, man, I'm pretty sure most of us have played a Call of Duty game. If you've been a gamer at all, even a casual one, and you've played shooters over the past 20 years, chances are you have played a Call of Duty game. Very, very popular franchise. Used to be peak, as somebody points out in chat. Yeah, I would say Modern Warfare 2. Modern Warfare 2, probably one of the best shooters of all time. Probably one of the best shooters of all time. But yeah, a lot of good stuff. A lot of good stuff. Thanks, Rossi, for the rose there. So we've known for a little bit here that Paramount is looking to make a Call of Duty movie. Okay, I believe we sort of barely touched on this recently because my take, we talked about it very briefly, but my take was like, hey, I think Paramount's doing a lot of good stuff. I don't know that this is one of them because Call of Duty has kind of fallen off. And Call of Duty kind of these days is known for essentially corporate slop, doesn't really innovate anymore, not really pushing it. A lot of people abandoning COD. COD's in a rough place, man. And so I was like, wow, like that's kind of weird that Paramount would get COD. The other thing is like, sure, there's some story, like I would say the Modern Warfare story is actually pretty good. And there's other, Modern Warfare stories that are decent here and there, but it's not like it has this one big crazy narrative. It's not like Halo. It's not like Zelda. It's not like some of these other franchises where Call of Duty is much more of the framing of that type of gameplay and that sandbox, and not as much as like, oh, you're following this one individual character or you're following this one individual story. So COD is like, it's kind of a weird pick amongst all of these other video game franchises that are being eyed up. And so I was kind of dismissive of this whole concept. Well, something else just was revealed, and this is crazy. You see it up on screen here. It says Steven Spielberg really wanted to direct a Call of Duty movie. He's a huge gamer, and he loves Call of Duty. He pitched his vision to Activision, wanted Final Cut and full production over the production, and Activision got spooked and then sold the rights to Paramount where they'd have more control over the process. Okay, and this was broke by Puck News, Matthew Bellany, really, really good reporter, good newsletter over there. So now this is crazy for a number of different reasons, man. So we got to fucking yap about this, all right? First of all, Steven Spielberg Call of Duty, bro. I take back everything I just said. Call of Duty sucks and there's no story, but Steven Spielberg could have figured it out, bro. Are you kidding me? Steven Spielberg fucking Call of Duty movie? Sell it back. Sell it back. This is ridiculous. What is going on here? Okay, so, this reminds me a lot of the early Halo days when Halo was really popping off. And around the time of Halo 2 and Halo 3, I mean, you gotta understand, this was like a big cultural, huge movement. I just watched this huge video essay about the marketing budget for Halo 3. Halo 2 was so successful that Bungie essentially had a blank check for the marketing for Halo 3, which is where the Neil Blomkamp live action stuff comes out of. At the time, Peter Jackson was really interested in doing Halo stuff. Anyway, the point is this. Hollywood's very interested in Halo. Microsoft didn't want them to have the final cut either. Microsoft was so protective of it that they were like, no, we're not going to let Peter fucking Jackson do Halo. We're not doing that. Well, it just seems like they're still in this position. Activision, which I believe now is a Sony company or maybe associate. I'm not sure. But Activision is like, they didn't want to just hand Call of Duty over to Steven Spielberg. And I feel like, frankly, that would have been one of the smartest moves that franchise has made in a long time. Literally, hand it to Steven Spielberg. What could go wrong? What could go wrong? Oh no, Steven Spielberg makes a Call of Duty movie that's not... Like, what are you afraid of? I don't understand. I think this is very foolish. You obviously should have just given it to fucking Steven Spielberg, okay? Anyway, That's crazy, okay? So now you look at this deal with Paramount here under sort of new light. And I'm already, it was, like I said before, kind of skeptic of it. This is weird. So Activision, which, by the way, again, is the company residing over the brand damage and the destruction of Call of Duty. Like, literally, dude, it's fucking bad out there. Just go watch a couple of videos online. Call of Duty having a big fall off. So Activision, the company residing over that, refuses to let Steven Spielberg have final cut and instead sells to Paramount so that then they can retain a lot more control over it. Oh, man. I just feel like this is a really bad bit of news for them. And I wonder how much it'll sour the project, sour the acquisition. Perhaps they'll get some other talent that comes on board that really has a vision or whatever for it. But it just seems like this is... I don't feel good about this. You know what I mean? I don't feel good about this. Now, one thing that could maybe get me to... be more sympathetic to the Paramount version would be if there were some creators at the studio or some of the developers that had said, we actually have a pretty strong vision for what we wanted and it didn't align with what Steven wanted, et cetera, et cetera. But you better drop those articles now because this is going to poison the well a little bit for the Call of Duty movie. Man. And then, like, the other question is, like, can we get Spielberg on something else, dude? Like, Spielberg, you like gaming. You ever try Space Marine 2? You ever try any of these Warhammer games there, Steven Spielberg? Although I guess they would never give him a final cut on that either. I don't know, man. We're at a position here where it seems like the video game shit is about to pop off. You had like one of the best filmmakers. Like, Steven Spielberg he's so good that people forget how good he is. He's almost like the Eminem of movie making. Like, he's dead ass. He's just so good that, like, you just expect, like, excellence every time. And it's almost been lost how actually incredible this dude is at making movies. Man, the fuck, man. Not getting the Call of Duty Steven Spielberg movie. Driving me crazy. And I think it's really bad for them. Anyway, that's kind of the basics of the story. What do you guys think here, man? Like, this is crazy. Shogun Order says, Saving Private Ryan, Steven Spielberg, or Ready Player One, Steven Spielberg. I love both of those movies, dude. What are you talking about? I think both of those movies are absolutely incredible. I just like Star Wars. I don't care and won't see the movie. What? Yeah, COD messed up. It could have been legendary. I agree, man. I agree. Great shout. Activision, lean into your deeply embedded movie making skills. Yeah, I know, dude, right? Spielberg ain't got shit on y'all. See, 100%. Yeah. Diamond G says the COD commercials are cool. Bazookas and tea bags. God, man, I don't know. It's just hard to. I just don't see this, like, the sanctity of Call of Duty. Like, what exactly are they trying to protect? Like, Call of Duty is pretty basic, like, just shooting and shit. Like, it's a cool sandbox, you know, like, it's very fast tick, you know, fast TTK. Like, I don't understand, man. And they better get some big talent on this shit now. Cause, like, holy. Okay, let's see here. Braden says, the only way a COD movie would work is if they adapted to Tackle the Zombies lore, which is insane lore. Maybe that's what it is. Maybe, and look, at this, I really like what Paramount's doing in a lot of ways. You know, I've been very positive on a lot of their acquisitions and their deal with Lionsgate. And look, they're making a big push and they have a lot of really fun IP. There's a couple of things I don't like. I don't like how they're apparently very not good with fair use and YouTubers and content creators, which will hurt them. But on top of that, Paramount has also been attacking people that have criticisms of some of their shows and some of their stuff. That is a bridge too far. You could suck with copyright shit, but if you deadass start, like, striking YouTubers that are critical of your shows and movies, people are going to turn on you pretty quick. So they got to get that figured out. That's a really bad look for them. And then this Call of Duty thing, I'm just not super sure about this. You know, they better get somebody really fucking talented on this because I just feel like maybe they wasted a little bit of money here. Give COD a prop hunt movie. What? Oh, a prop hunt. What does that mean? Jack says Battlefield should be on the phone with him right now. Put 30 seconds of Battlefield 4 main theme and picture his title card. Oh, dude, with Spielberg? I mean, that's actually a kind of interesting point that Jack's bringing up. I wonder if now that this story is out there, if more people are going to try to get Spielberg to consider an adaptation of a gaming franchise. You know? Adapting the Modern Warfare 1 and 2 campaigns would be easy money. That's true, yeah. That's true. Maybe that's what they're doing. Maybe they're just like, nah, thanks, Steven. Like, we know what we want to do. We just want to adapt maybe the best stories from the games we have, right? Yeah. Prop hunt is goated. Is that a mode? Is that like a mode that you can play? I don't know what that is. Hello, Josh. Hello there, Leia. Kyber Sith says, what top Hollywood movie action stars would you want to see in the Warhammer movie? Stallone, Jason Momoa? Yeah, man. All them boys, man. Like, anybody that was in the Expendables. Anybody that was in the Expendables. And then I also think, like, some of the people that were in that movie with Cavill, with the ungentlemanly warfare or whatever. I think some of those dudes would be great. If I'm casting for Warhammer, which, by the way, like, damn, thanks, Kyber Sith. $10 holla in the middle of this segment here. Yeah, the Reacher actor, Bruce Willis, unfortunately, you cannot. Yeah, he's got the health problems. I would say anybody from Expendables. I would say any old school Star Wars actors. I would say any Game of Thrones actors. Anybody that's ever been in like a fantasy type movie or something like that did really good, get them. Play the Battlefield 4 theme, please. I will literally get copy struck, I believe, if I do that. So, no, I can't do that, bro. Yeah, Ned Stark, 100%, yeah. Yep. Oh, okay, yeah, interesting. Yeah. Hayden? Yeah, of course. I would do Hayden. You can make Hayden Sanguinius, man. The Mountain? That would be sick. Yeah, that will be really interesting. I mean, the Brad Pitt thing is interesting because it sort of shows you the type of actor he's going for. And it seems like he's going for old school action stars. Because Pitt did have a go at an action star little thing, you know? Did Troy, Mr. and Mrs. Smith, a couple other action movies in that era. Stallone would be cool, you know? Stallone is, he's getting up there, though, you know? That's the only thing about that. Gerard Butler would be a great pick, absolutely. Yeah. Bullet Train, underrated? Yeah, Bullet Train wasn't bad. Yeah. World War Z, yep. Yep. All right, everybody. Well, let's end this segment here. Call of Duty, you're screwing it up. Paramount, do better!